Our Harvest for Hope is for domestic violence, to bring awareness during the month of October to make sure that we spread the word and get our voice out for how we will help stop domestic violence in our community.
So we want to just take the time and step back and remember those individuals whose lives have been lost to acts of domestic violence, and really commit ourselves as a community to acting, to being proactive in this struggle.
We have obviously a DJ in that we have some food, we have some different vendors out there. Supposedly we're supposed to have a band and some cheerleaders coming, so we have a lot of different things going on.
It's meant to be a time to bring the community together, have some fun, but also recognize and honor survivors of domestic violence and those that we've lost. We'll close down the event with a candlelight vigil that remembers those lives that have been impacted by domestic violence. Each year we serve about 2,500 men, women, and children who've been impacted by domestic violence. And of course that doesn't really begin to show you the extent of the problem, because so many people don't come forward, aren't able to come forward, or just don't know that the resources are out there. The Verizon grant is a $10,000 grant that we are very grateful for. It will help us continue and expand the teen dating violence programs that we currently do in local schools in Dauphin County. With that money, we'll be able to really work with kids on changing their attitudes and beliefs around violence, around what healthy relationships are. Not just go in and talk about risk reduction, but to really try to start effectuating long-term change.
So I'm just here to welcome everybody, but I'd like to introduce Todd Darlington, a representative of Verizon Government Relations and External Affairs, to come and make some remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Todd Darlington. I'm the Director of Government Relations and External Affairs with Verizon. And without really too much further ado, on behalf of Verizon, I'm here to be here today to provide this grant in the amount of $10,000 to YWCA of Harrisburg. For more than a decade, Verizon has been a champion of ending domestic violence and supports a broad range of programs that includes educating teens about preventing dating violence and promoting healthy relationships. So we are pleased to be here and help expand the critical programs that and services that the YWCA of Harrisburg, and to help those in need. So we'll do some pictures a little bit later. I'd like to pass the baton and allow some of our local elected officials to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I heard the key is to make this brief, but all of you know we can go on and on, particularly about a topic as, more importantly, the Oversight Commissioner of Human Services and the statewide policy chair, but even more important than that, as a father of 4 daughters. And as a husband and someone who is concerned. Quite frankly, my twins are now 16 years old, and they've begun the process of dating. And while that's been quite a challenge and fearful, I think the first gentleman that showed up at the door, I drug tested was the first introduction. But the idea about not just talking in Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We see pictures of individuals that are around here at the Y, and we hear tragic stories all the time, but there's been many lives that have been saved as a result of the efforts of the Y. The ability to build self-esteem, the ability to understand that you're not alone, the ability to provide supports, and particularly with this grant, I'd like to thank Verizon, because trying to talk to young kids earlier, and I always say in the human service world, we should be plowing all of our money into prevention. The idea that we can actually educate, provide cognitive behavioral skills, the ability to educate about the do's and don'ts of dating. I think I do that at home, but sometimes I wonder if the kids listen to me or they listen to their peers. And the key is they listen to a host of variety of folks, and with the internet and all of the access to information, we have to do all we can to have that personal contact and educate and make them aware of a lot of the challenges that exist in our today's society, especially for our young teens. We hear stories of violence that happen, and we just pray that it's not ours, but every time you hear about it, you think that it is ours. We have a responsibility to do all we can in roles of leadership to continue to step up, and in this case, partner with the private sector to be able to continue the good work. And with lack of prevention dollars comes creativity. And how this came about was kind of interesting. I just was aware about how the connection was made actually with the Y through some things that we've done with our own domestic violence awareness. It's a critical issue, one that we have to talk about, one that we have to bring out into the open. We don't need the NFL to be the ones that drive this conversation. It's the people that are truly motivated by the right reasons that are in this room, that believe in God's work, that do this every single day to be able to make a difference in the lives of those we serve. We always say that you make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give. Trying to give some tools and prevent real critical issues and the tragedy from occurring is well worth our time, and we're grateful to the Y, all the professionals who do so much work for men and women in this community who are going through horrific incidents, but also the ability to give hope and the belief that we can educate, we can make a difference, and we can see lives change as a result of our efforts. So thank you, Verizon. Thank you to the Y for the work that you do, and thank you for all of you for being here today and committed to making a difference in our community. And at this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to the mayor of the city of Harrisburg that is on the move and resurging. We had some opening yesterday of new luxury townhomes. We've been talking about new investment, addressing issues of public safety, and we're really proud that the city is not talking about going backwards in a day that we had bankruptcy, but going forward in a way that's going to talk about investment and hope for the future of our city. So we'd like to bring Mayor Eric Pappenfuss up to me.
The city is most certainly seeing renewed investment. It's a very exciting thing. But we need to be mindful of the continued investment we need to make, specifically in our school system, and that's one of the things I like most about the grant. I want to thank Verizon for. We're going to be doing the outreach in the schools where it's needed the most. It's been a tough day in the city of Harrisburg today. We just came to a press conference, 3 Harrisburg High School students arrested, 15, and 17. For armed robbery and assault in the city of Harrisburg out after curfew, all 3 with troubled histories within the Harrisburg School District. I've used it as an opportunity to try and call for the return of our school resource officer program, the SRO program in the schools. We really need that. We need the police presence there in a positive way. It's about reversing a culture of violence and changing teen notions of masculinity to ones which are based much more on communication and understanding. And I think this grant, and specifically the issue of teen dating violence, will go right to the core of trying to create a safe space in our schools where kids can truly learn and grow and have real alternatives. There is a direct correlation, as you all know, between teen dating violence and domestic violence and the ability to learn. People that experience this in the schools get far worse grades. There's a general climate of distraction that pulls people away from what they should be doing, which is studying and learning. And it leads to higher truancy and dropout rates and everything else. And this money, and I want to thank Verizon, and I especially want to thank the Y. They've been with us, working hard to impact these kids at these pivotal ages. This is going to go directly into helping change that culture of violence. And that's what we need. And we need to all circle our wagons and be devoted to that as a city as a whole. And this is a great example of something that's going to make a positive difference. So thank you all.
Hi, I'm Rhonda. I'm the director of the Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault programs here at the YWCA. And I'd just like to talk to you a little bit about what $10,000 will do. What we plan to do with this is to expand our efforts in the schools. We have educators, Sarah, Marianne, who go into the schools and do primary prevention. And what we're trying to effectuate here is long-term change. Not just go in and talk to kids about how not to be a victim, but how to examine their belief systems. And those belief systems often foster environments of violence. They don't know what healthy relationships may look like. It may not have been modeled for them. So we want to challenge kids to examine those core belief systems and, importantly, help them develop the skills to change them if necessary, and then change their school climate, change their home environment, change the community that they live in. So we are very grateful to Verizon for the grant, and we are very grateful to the mayor, the commissioner, for coming here today and supporting these efforts. So thank you all.
Thank you all once again for being here. I just want, really quick before we end, I know, that was the end, you told me that, to recognize our staff that work day in and day out to help those who are victims of domestic violence, sexual. Can you stand up, please? They're all standing in the back. There's some sitting down, but I think they can go back.